Hello and welcome to hankgames Without Hank. My name is John Green, manager of the AFC Wimbledon Wimbly Womblys. Today, taking on Bradford City at Kings Meadow. Very exciting stuff. By the way, as you can see right there on the right side of the screen, guess who's come to town? It's Camps. I acquired him on transfer deadline day. No apologies. We need a central midfielder, and that's the job that he plays. The job that he plays? Yeah, whatever. Let's stick with it. I'm very proud to have acquired Camps. I make absolutely no apologies, and it is his debut today. As you can see, he is a 20-year-old midfielder. His nationality is Northern Irish. His previous team is Rochdale or possibly Rockdale. There he is, just Macklemorian in his beauty. A beautiful, perfect ginger with just a terrible, terrible haircut. Very proud to have him on our club. On our club? In our club? Whatever. I'm not... Today I'm going to talk about my own soccer playing career. It might surprise you to know, based on how good I am at FIFA, that I was once extremely good at real-life soccer. But it's true. It's true. So some people have asked like how I became a soccer fan in the first place, and what my what the core of that is. And it started out because I was a soccer player when I was even when I was a very little kid. This is a common thing in America. It's weird because we have a terrible, well, I don't want to say terrible, but we don't have a particularly great national soccer team. That's great, though. Nope. Disappointing, but there's still hope. But no, there isn't. Hope is the thing with feathers that sometimes perishes, just like everything else. I need you to be a little bit better. I'm starting Polygon. I think his name is Polygon. I'm starting Polygon today. He's just trying to just... John Green's away on international duty, playing for the United States of America. Anyway, in the U.S., we have our lots of youth soccer. Not very, high-level youth soccer necessarily, but lots of it. And I started playing soccer when I was about 7. At that point, my son is a 7-year-old soccer player, and it's just, there's not a lot of talent involved. It's just, running around and trying to learn the various, roles and stuff. Come on, finish. Oh, it went in the goal! Lyle Taylor, the Messi for Montserrat, the Cristiano Ronaldo of the Caribbean, with a fantastic shot, just pure power, and then it edged it. The unfortunate thing about that is that if it hadn't gone in, Polygon would have scored his first ever goal for the Wimbly Womblys, which would have been wonderful. But I'm still extremely satisfied. Oh, Meredith, it went down as an own goal. My favorite kind of goal. That's awesome. Oh, that's just pure humiliation for the Bradford City goalkeeper with an own goal in the 15th minute. Right, so, it's just like... a bunch of people around the ball running around, nobody ever really getting within, basically there are no goals ever scored, except there's one really good 7-year-old soccer player on in every game, and that kid on their own defines whether or not your team is successful. You either have one of those kids or you don't, and if you do, your team wins all the games because they understand the basics of space in a way that no other 7-year-old soccer player does. You don't even have to be particularly athletic or anything. You just have to understand fundamental concepts of space. Anyway, I was not that 7-year-old player. I was one of the kids who was just always trying to be near the ball because that's where the ball was, and this was a ball game. This situation did not improve over time in any way. Look at Lyle Taylor. They tried to stop him, but they can't because he's a finisher. Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you for the salute, sir. I appreciate it. Lyle Taylor, the greatest soccer player ever to emerge from the Caribbean, with a beautiful weak-footed finish. Wait, no, that's his right foot. Okay, yeah, on that topic, I have no awareness of space. I have zero spatial intelligence. I do not know which way is north. I barely know my left from my right. I've always been this way. I cannot understand myself in space. This turns out to be more important in playing soccer than being good with your feet. People always say that soccer is a game that rewards athleticism, but it's mostly a game where you have to understand the geometry of the game. You have to understand like the triangles you're trying to create. You have to understand like the sort of magic of where you create space. And the reason I suck at FIFA, or one of the reasons I suck at FIFA, aside from just totally missing that run, is that I don't see the space well. I don't see how to like open up space using triangles. I can't see 2 or 3 moves ahead, and that's what great football players can do. I could never do that. I eventually, like, I kept playing soccer, and then eventually I quit because I was so frustrated and it sucked. Like, it's not fun to suck, you know, because then you let down your team. And I like one of the fundamental things is if you're playing a defensive role in soccer, you need to be able to understand what I'm doing right there, the diagonal run. That you know, like you can't catch a player if you're both running in a straight line, but if you can be the hypotenuse of the triangle like that right there, then you can catch them even if you're slower. I could never quite understand what that meant practically, so I could never really get that done. And that you know, and then you end up like giving up goals, not because of your lack of athleticism, but because of basically like your lack of intelligence. Like there's like an intellectual shortcoming. And that was always super frustrating for me. And so I retired from soccer in about 4th grade, I think. Just got really frustrated and quit. And that was about when I quit all athletics, when I was about 10 years old. And then I decided to make a glorious and triumphant comeback in middle school because I'd gotten kind of into soccer. At the time, like, you couldn't really watch soccer on TV or anything. Like, the World Cup in 1990 was televised, but I wouldn't say, like, particularly well televised, although, to be fair, it was 1990. Like, no sports were televised that well. And this is a fantastic run. This is a fantastic run from Reevesy. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. The golden child. Is he going to try? Oh, he went for the nasty finish. It didn't work out, but it was interesting. Yeah, so then Bartram with a really poor shot that was ill-advised, must be said. And Reevesy's still on the ball because the guy, I mean, he's just relentless. He's like the Lin-Manuel Miranda of our football team. So I decided to make a triumphant return in middle school to soccer, and I played on my middle school soccer team for 2 years. And I was not good at any point, but what I had that my coach valued a lot and made me feel like a valuable member of the team was I hustled. Like, I was an extremely hard worker on the football field. Like, I just ran and ran and ran, and I went for every header, and I never gave up on the ball. And so my coach would use me to instruct the other players in how to be good at soccer. He would say, for instance, what he said most often was, look at Green, he's terrible, but see that effort. He would criticize me relentlessly, but he would always praise my effort, which made me feel like I was a valuable member of the team because I was encouraging all the other members of the team to play harder, even though I was not a valuable member of the team in the sense that I was, like, you know, technically terrible at the game. I'm going to bring on... yeah, I think I'm going to bring on Whelpdale as well. I'm going to leave Camps on because you never know. I mean, this is his debut. He's tired, but it would be great if he could score a goal. Obviously, like, that would be an amazing feeling for him, and I think for all of us, because then I could bust out some Macklemore lyrics, which I know is very important to all of you guys to hear me sing Thrift Shop. Is that what that song is called? Oh, it's him. Oh my God, that was horrible. It's a first off, I was just wretched. And secondly, that wasn't him. That was Lyle Taylor. So yeah, I was like, I loved the game, and I loved playing, and I loved running, and I loved trying hard, but I was utterly hopeless in terms of my skill level. I was bad on the ball, but I also did not have the intelligence required to be good at this game. And so eventually in 8th grade, I didn't make the team. And I think that was the end of my soccer playing career. But I remained a big soccer fan. Like, even though there was very little soccer televised, I remained a big fan. I was a big fan of my high school soccer team. Like, I would travel with the team to go and watch them play and stuff. And I watched a lot of like the semi-pro soccer that was in the various places where I lived. There was a team that played in Orlando, and there was another team that played, not like, I guess probably not a pro team, the team I watched in Birmingham. But I just loved the game. Like, I've always loved. I just think it's an amazing spectator sport. Like, it's such a beautiful game. The tension between what the Oh man, that was a nice looking ball, but it didn't work out. The tension between like what the like human body has to do to be good at soccer, but also what the brain has to do. It just always fascinates. Like, I am always amazed when I see space open up in unexpected, cool ways while watching soccer. Like, it remains very beautiful to me when a ball is played into an area and I don't understand why it was played there, and then it works out, and then you see someone fill that space, and then the filling of that space results in the opening up of some other space. It's almost like it's like chess, only I understand it, I guess is how I would say it. So I was never going to be good at soccer. I did play briefly in an over 30 league a few years ago, and I just wasn't fit enough. In addition to being pretty bad at the game, like, I just wasn't healthy enough. And now I probably am fit enough to play competitively, and I'm also getting toward being in an over 40 league, which would be advantageous to me. It's Lyle Taylor. He is a known finisher. Oh my God, that was terrible, Lyle. I mean, that's Lyle Taylor with repeated opportunities to get the hat trick that he's been seeking. He's had a great season here in League One, but what he hasn't had so far is a hat trick, and it's not going to happen for him today, unfortunately. That said, it's hard to be upset about our 6th consecutive league win. It might be time to go up in skill level. Maybe not. I don't know. Reese Oxford looks great in that DFTBA Nerdfighteria shorts, though. Thank you guys for watching. Maybe my soccer career isn't over. We'll see when I turn 40. Best wishes.